Hello, welcome to our RecapPlus channel with me, Matthew. Today we will watch a recap movie called Marlowe, released in 2022. This is a spoiler content video, so please turn on the subtitle and let's start the story. As Marlowe delves deeper into the mystery surrounding Nico Peterson, he follows a trail of clues that take him to unexpected places. His investigation takes a more sinister turn when he learns about Peterson's checkered past and his connection to various women, often as the cause of marital disputes. One day, Marlowe decides to pay a visit to Peterson's house, but it appears abandoned and eerily lifeless. The next-door neighbor informs him that Peterson hasn't been seen for 7 weeks, a highly unusual absence for the womanizer. Marlowe is told that, besides him, 2 Mexicans had also inquired about Peterson just a week ago. With this new information in hand, Marlowe consults an old friend, Joe Green, a police officer, to gather more insights into Peterson's character and background. Joe paints a picture of Peterson as a dishonest and troublesome individual, known for his philandering ways and penchant for getting entangled in various problems. Joe then drops a bombshell. Peterson was found dead in a hit-and-run accident outside the Corbata Club, his face so disfigured that he remained unrecognizable. Marlowe decides to investigate the Corbata Club, hoping to uncover clues. However, his attempt to gather information is thwarted when he is caught by the club's security personnel. After his release, Marlowe reconnects with Joe, who reveals a crucial detail. Peterson had been stabbed before the hit-and-run incident, raising suspicions of foul play. Armed with this revelation, Marlowe heads to the Cavendish family mansion to inform Claire about Peterson's demise. There, he encounters Joseph O'Reilly, Claire's mother's financial advisor, who is embroiled in a heated argument with Claire's mother. Claire informs Marlowe that O'Reilly will soon become an ambassador to England. Before Marlowe can reveal the grim news about Peterson, Mr. Cavendish arrives and mistakes Marlowe for his wife's new lover. Marlowe attempts to defuse the situation by fabricating a story about being hired to find missing jewelry, which Claire reluctantly confirms. However, Claire disputes the reports of Peterson's death, claiming that she saw him alive in Tijuana on the same day he was found dead while visiting to inspect some horses. Marlowe senses that Claire is withholding information, and this leads him to withdraw from the investigation, leaving Claire's home. As he departs, he crosses paths with Dorothy Quincannon, Claire's mother, who has conducted her own background check on Marlowe. Dorothy is curious about her daughter's actions but is met with Marlowe's staunch refusal to divulge any confidential information regarding his client. The enigma deepens as Marlowe navigates the web of deceit surrounding Nico Peterson's life and death. As Marlowe delves deeper into the perplexing case of Nico Peterson, he becomes increasingly determined to unravel the truth. His quest for answers leads him to Peterson's gravesite, where he unexpectedly encounters a mysterious woman paying her respects. Marlowe attempts to follow her but loses her trail. Seeking more information about Peterson's demise, Marlowe meets with Joe to inquire about any suspects in the hit-and-run incident. Unfortunately, there are no leads or charges against anyone in the case. Joe expresses curiosity about Marlowe's client, suspecting her to be Peterson's younger sister. Marlowe denies this and confides that he is working with someone who believes Peterson faked his death. Together, Marlowe and Joe uncover various inconsistencies in the case, such as irregularities in the victim's identification process carried out by Corbata Club manager, Floyd Hansen, and the rushed cremation of Peterson's body. Marlowe arranges a meeting with Floyd Hansen to question him about Peterson's death. While en route to Hansen's office, he spots the enigmatic woman from the graveyard. Marlowe confronts Hansen, suggesting that Peterson may not have been the victim of the accident and could have been intentionally killed. Hansen denies Marlowe's claims and asserts that Peterson's sister identified the deceased man as her brother. When Marlowe inquires about Peterson's sister's whereabouts, Hansen directs him to the police. After the meeting, Marlowe tracks down the woman he spotted earlier, who identifies herself as Lynn Peterson, Nico Peterson's sister. However, her presence at the club draws suspicion from Hansen and his men, leading Lynn to arrange a clandestine meeting with Marlowe at a massage parlor called Cabana. That evening, when Marlowe arrives at Cabana, he finds himself entangled with Hansen's henchmen instead of meeting Lynn. The following day, Dorothy, Claire's mother, invites Marlowe to a meeting where she attempts to bribe him into divulging information about his investigation regarding Nico Peterson. However, Marlowe remains steadfast, refusing to disclose any details about his work with Claire. During their conversation, Dorothy reveals a shocking secret. The financial advisor, O'Reilly, whom Marlowe met at her house, was her lover. Dorothy hadn't disclosed her relationship with Claire to O'Reilly, and he believed Claire was her niece. She suspects that Claire and O'Reilly might be conspiring against her, especially since O'Reilly recently purchased a studio to support Claire's career, and payment for the studio came from Claire herself. Dorothy is concerned that Peterson's death might be connected to these machinations. Before their meeting concludes, Dorothy shares information she obtained from her private detective. Nico Peterson had another lover named Amanda Toxteth, an extra working at the Pacific Picture Studio. To get to the bottom of the mystery, Marlowe visits Dorothy's studio, only to discover that Amanda Toxteth works there. The puzzle deepens as Marlowe's investigation takes him deeper into the tangled web of secrets and deceit surrounding Nico Peterson's life and death. As Marlowe delves deeper into the case, he meets with Amanda Toxteth, who reveals that Nico Peterson was a man who enjoyed conquests but avoided intimate relationships. Amanda provides Marlowe with information about Peterson's business dealings with Mexicans, particularly in the drug trade, which appeared to be thriving in Mexico. Marlowe decides to revisit Nico Peterson's house in search of clues. Upon entering the residence, he discovers a note on the table and begins examining it. At that moment, Lynn, Nico's sister, arrives at the house and confronts Marlowe. Shortly thereafter, two Mexicans enter the house inquiring about a woman named Serena. Lynn attempts to escape, and one of the men pursues her while Marlowe engages in a physical altercation with the other intruder. Marlowe manages to incapacitate one of the men and interrogates him about Serena's whereabouts. However, Marlowe is blindsided and knocked unconscious from behind. When Marlowe regains consciousness, he finds himself facing a man named Cedric, who is armed. Cedric then takes Marlowe to meet his boss, Lou Hendricks, inside Nico's house. Hendricks offers to take Marlowe to his destination, and during their conversation, reveals that Nico Peterson had been involved in supplying Mexican tarantulas. Hendricks offers Marlowe payment and requests his cooperation in sharing information about Nico's whereabouts if he ever finds him. Marlowe declines the offer. Upon arriving at what he believes to be his address, Marlowe discovers that it is Joe's office. He intends to report Lynn's kidnapping and the theft of his gun by two Mexicans. Joe provides him with a new gun of the same type, serving as an alibi in case the stolen gun is used in any criminal activity. Later that evening, Detective Bernie Oles, sent by Joe, visits Marlowe to follow up on the report of Lynn's disappearance. Shortly after, Claire arrives at Marlowe's house, inquiring about the progress of the investigation into Nico Peterson's disappearance. Claire shares some of her personal history, revealing that she lived with nuns for 6 years so her mother could be with O'Reilly. Claire then departs, mentioning an appointment elsewhere. Marlowe decides to follow Claire's car, which is headed to O'Reilly's residence. While observing Claire, Marlowe is suddenly surprised by the arrival of Dorothy, Claire's mother. Dorothy has come to investigate her suspicions of her daughter's affair with O'Reilly, setting the stage for further twists and revelations in the unfolding mystery. The following morning, Marlowe and Detective Bernie head to a river where they are informed of the discovery of Lynn's lifeless body. Her death is a grim development in the case. They then proceed to the Corbata Club, where they find the cars of two Mexicans and Lou Hendricks parked in the club's lot. This discovery leads them to suspect the involvement of these individuals in Lynn's death. Detective Bernie, unable to continue the investigation without a warrant, asks Marlowe to take over. That night, Marlowe covertly infiltrates the Corbata Club. He manages to enter Floyd Hansen's room and confronts him while he is using drugs. Marlowe questions Hansen about the connections between him, the Mexicans, and Lou Hendricks, and whether Dorothy or the ambassador to England is their boss. Floyd offers to discuss Marlowe's questions over a drink, but he secretly spikes Marlowe's drink. As Marlowe pretends to faint after taking a sip, Floyd begins revealing the truth. He admits to running an illegal drug business at the club and collaborating with Peterson, Hendricks, and the Mexicans. Floyd also confesses to killing Lynn because she did not follow his rules and emphasizes that Peterson's disappearance is of little consequence to him. Marlowe is then taken to a room where Lou Hendricks is being held captive. In the same room, Marlowe discovers two dead Mexicans who had been tortured. Floyd leaves Marlowe alone with Cedric, Hendricks' driver. Marlowe manages to free Cedric and proposes that they work together. Meanwhile, in another room, Floyd interrogates Lou Hendricks about Serena, the person last seen with Peterson who was believed to have hidden the drugs. Hendricks reveals that Serena is not a person but rather an ornate statue housed in an aquarium. Marlowe and Cedric locate a gun in the warehouse and engage in a shootout with Floyd and his associates. In the chaos, Cedric accidentally shoots the aquarium, causing the Serena statue, which contains the hidden drugs, to shatter, and the drugs are lost in the water. In response, Cedric shoots and kills Hendricks. Afterward, Marlowe and Cedric report the incident to Detective Bernie. When Marlowe returns home, He is surprised by the arrival of Nico Peterson. Marlowe's detective work has exposed the truth of Peterson's fabricated death. Marlowe informs Peterson about Lynn's death, but Peterson appears unfazed as she was only his stepsister. Peterson's visit serves another purpose, to ask Marlowe to deliver a message to Claire, bringing new dimensions to the ongoing mystery. Marlowe decided to convene a meeting with Claire and Dorothy to address the various issues surrounding them. To entice Claire, he fabricated a story about Peterson running off with a woman named Serena and smuggling drugs. However, Claire's reaction did not indicate jealousy toward Peterson. Conversely, Dorothy appeared disinterested in the matter. During the conversation, Claire disclosed a secret. She revealed that O'Reilly had actually broken up with Dorothy and was using her to seduce the ambassador. Frustrated, Claire left the scene, and Marlowe followed her. She assured Marlowe that she would soon send payment for his services and informed him that Peterson had asked her to visit the Pacific Studios prop warehouse later that evening. That evening, Cedric drove Marlowe to the Pacific Studios prop warehouse. During the journey, Cedric shared what he knew from his time working with Lou Hendricks. He revealed that the warehouse in question was where Peterson had worked as a film props director and had been involved in smuggling drugs and antique props from Mexico to England. Peterson had collaborated with Floyd, Lou Hendricks, and Ambassador O'Reilly. It seemed likely that Peterson had a hidden agenda, as he was gathering evidence on the drug deals to potentially blackmail Ambassador O'Reilly. Upon Claire's arrival at the warehouse, Peterson showed her a briefcase containing records of drug transactions. They planned to use these records to blackmail Ambassador O'Reilly and intended to flee afterward. As Claire inspected the suitcase, Marlowe arrived at the warehouse. Peterson, aware of Marlowe's presence, opened fire on him. After evading Peterson's shots, Marlowe witnessed Claire shooting Peterson instead. Claire then set fire to the warehouse, destroying all the files of drug transactions along with Peterson's body. Marlowe allowed Claire to leave, subsequently contacting the fire brigade and meeting with Detective Bernie. To Detective Bernie, Marlowe provided false information about the incident. The next day, Marlowe, accompanied by Cedric, attended Claire's invitation. Claire had now secured a significant position at Ambassador O'Reilly's office. She informed Marlowe that her mother had returned to acting in movies with full financial support from her and the ambassador. Furthermore, she revealed that the ambassador appreciated Marlowe's discretion and offered him a well-paid position as head of security with a retirement fund. Marlowe declined the offer and recommended Cedric for the position instead, expressing his gratitude. To watch more video like this, click on the videos on your screen, and don't forget to let me know how you feel about today's video in the comments down below. And at last I will say stay safe and stay healthy. See you next videos.